Guess who I met today, Freddie? It was Daddy. And I went to his house and it was just perfect for a tea party.
Who the fuck are you anyway?
I'm Father Lawrence.
Get away from me. I know why you're here. Get away!
This is a really bad idea.
Hello and welcome to our Soho Lift Spotlight. I'm Vanessa Ayiku and I'm pleased to be joined by Abe Smyth and Sofia Adli from Father. So, can you tell us a little bit about the film without giving too much away? I know it's a horror.
It is. So, what's it?
What's it
Follows
like?
Saoirse, played by Sofia Adli. It begins with her conjuring the spirit of her dead, not so great father. Now that she's grown up, she wants to bring him back for some kind of reconciliation or
Revenge?
yeah, maybe revenge. And then that ends up not going quite as she expected, and kind of this doppelganger priest shows up,
Instead, in the form
Yeah.
of an American priest.
and whether he shares the not so great tendencies of her original father is yet to be seen.
Okay.
It's a horror, so
Okay, yes.
yeah,
We
I
can
mean-
imagine, yeah. It's going to go off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And what were your roles in the film itself?
I was Saoirse.
And Father Lawrence,
Okay, and behind the
as well as
scenes?
directing. We both directed.
You co-directed, okay.
together, produced, wrote. Story originated with Sofia, but we the screenplay we kind of went back and forth on and did
Yeah.
many revisions over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the script is actually 7 years old.
Oh, wow,
Well,
okay.
the original iteration of
Okay.
it. And then,
It's kind of involved and...
We also did a lot of the catering.
yes.
Okay, nice.
We did a lot
Keep your
of
crew
a lot of
fed,
things.
that's always my key thing.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
But
Keep
where
everyone
did
happy.
the story come from? It's quite dark.
So I suppose, yeah, I'd read this article, and it was about this guy who had taken a lot of drugs, and he went for a massive walk and knocked on a random lady's door and said, "God told me that I should use your phone." And it just so happened that she was God-fearing and let him in. And unfortunately, it didn't work out too well for her.
Oh, wow. And this is a true story? You said you read it?
It was in the newspaper.
Oh, wow.
I cannot find the article for the life of me, but I ran home and that was the kind of source story.
Catalyst. For...
Yeah, and I kind of went from there. It stayed in a cave for a while, and Abe kind of pulled it out, and then we have worked on it since then. So
Yeah, Sophia, when we first met, she kind of said about the script she had. I looked at it, so said she wasn't a horror fan, or wasn't particularly into horror. And I was like, well, there's a lot of horror in this. And I see opportunities to, like, maybe go even harder and kind of play with all that stuff. Obviously, a lot of the idea behind it is kind of, abuse of power, parental figure, a kid looking up to that parental figure, them abusing that trust. And then
female hysteria as well.
and then with the priest, I kind of saw the parallels. I was like, people trust priests.
I was going to say, where did the priest aspect come in? Because
There's a
often
there's a
there's-
history of them maybe
in horror
taking
movies.
advantage of, and in reality, of them taking advantage of that trust sometimes in certain places. So I thought, it's quite fun to sort of play with that idea. Yeah.
Wow, okay. And so how difficult was it to do the directing and the acting, and kind of how did you split those roles?
It was just like a lot of trust, really. So we were juggling many roles. There was one point where we were both actually cooking pizzas and chips and had the monitor to the left, and we were both shouting directions through the hallway.
They're putting makeup on me. I was supposed to be in the shot, and I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It's like, yeah, well, we need to get you in the shot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm cutting the pizzas. I was like doing that while, just
Multitasking
everything.
is
Yeah.
the key.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah. But yeah, just a lot of trust and trust in our team as well.
Yeah, so whenever, respectively, either of us were acting, the other one was watching and kind of taking it, and then we kind of discussed quickly after, and then when we were both in it, we just because we were up against time. This is very low budget. We raised it.
Oh, you did crowdfunding,
We
is
did
that right?
crowdfunding.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a great amount of money. It was amazing, but still, like we had 4 locations, a kid actor, 3-day shooting.
Yeah.
3 days. I was going to say how
3
many did it
days of
take?
shooting,
3 days. Okay.
and practical effects, lots of all these kind of things, while also just a million, and then also being the kind of leads of
Main,
the thing, and
exactly.
so you're going home, you're exhausted, you're trying to look at the stuff, you're like, okay, I also need to like prep these scenes and kind of get into that space as well. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
It's really fun though.
It was
Fun.
But I mean, I think maybe it's
No, I know.
rose tinted. Like you look back, and
look
you're
back,
like, you forget
yeah.
all the trauma.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
in the
Which is
moment,
like,
it
whoa,
was
we did it.
So stressful.
Yeah.
We got through.
I think the night
Yeah.
before, maybe not so much, but
The anticipation of what's to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
And so in the story itself, you kind of keep the audience guessing with the kind of balance of fantasy and what's reality and getting into this person's mind. How did that kind of develop? How?
I kind of knew that from the beginning, that I wanted it to be like sort of campish and a bit surreal, and we both love David Lynch and kind of that style of acting, almost like situational comedy in a way. So we knew we wanted to have that in it, and then I knew that I wanted her to be totally infantilized, as if she'd sort of stopped at a certain age with her trauma. So that was how we kind of made the decision to do that. But also all the other characters are completely outlandish and kind of, except for Nigel, you know, his character
Yeah,
is
the
grounded.
guy in the hospital
In the bed.
He's
Okay, yeah.
amazing. He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
He was saying it
guys
for what
ever.
it was, you know, he was the kind of,
Yeah, because obviously it could be very, very. It is dark, but it could be very heavy. But it's like, you know what? There's something nice about sometimes tackling having those kind of ideas that, you know,
Making it a
resonate
talking
with
point.
you know, but then put it into entertainment, because like,
Yeah.
you know, it's escapism, and kind of there's gore and stuff, but you can kind of make it heightened and funny and a bit absurd and a bit, you know, and then with
And do you think it's like multi-genres like that? Do you kind of...
yeah, I think like one of the other festivals described it as gleefully camp, which I love, and that we sort of enjoy the particulars of revenge. And
relishing the particulars. Yeah, I was just like, you know what, I really like this. That's kind of
because
it.
that's it. It's just like, you know, the fantasy of like, you know, taking
What people might do, you know, but they go that extra mile and actually follow through with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we want like our audience to be kind of throwing popcorn at the screen. Don't do that. That's bad.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a horror, like, yeah, it's kind of one of those ones you will kind of want the, like, you know, because the music kind of it kind of telegraphs some moments, and you're like, you know, you could have it be this kind of really heavy surprise, but it's, you know what, you want the audience in on it, and like you want all the horror fans to kind of almost be like a rock concert. They kind of just get so excited, like just at what they know is about to come, you know, kind of the money
And part
shots
of that and the
things that are
suspense of that is the music.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
kind of sound design of the production. Who worked on that for you, and what kind of ideas did you have up front, and did they kind of evolve or change?
So yeah, we always knew it was always like wanted to be a very, it's overused, but like a vibey film, just like those films like Dario Argento. Suspiria particularly was kind of a reference point, the Goblin score that they had, which just like very overpowering. And like we talked to the composer was Stephen McKenna. He's a film director as well. I acted in a film for him years ago, and I ended up going for a few drinks with him and went back to his house, and he was just tinkering away, and he was like, oh yeah, and he did the music for his film, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, and then we kind of have very similar reference points for films and stuff like that, and then he would just go riff and these things, and I was like, you're just amazing. And I
Yeah,
just
he's-
always knew that I wanted to bring him back
Great.
and have him on films that, like, I was involved with, and he's so like not, he is getting known as a composer, but he's so goddamn good. So with this, we kind of gave him a couple of like, you know, it was like
Well, we said we wanted
we had like
music.
3 words that we gave him, and kind of gave him free rein essentially, and then we kind of like tweaked little bits,
Yeah.
but
Where you
very.
came back with?
We kind of wanted another art piece on top of the piece to kind
Yeah.
of and see his interpretation,
Yeah.
and then it was really interesting because the temp music versus that was so different because he picked different. We removed everything before we sent it to him. I didn't want to be influenced at
Yeah.
all,
Okay.
and he picked slightly different, like emotional, different like shifts, different points within, say, dialogue or moments to accentuate, as opposed to what the traditional would have
thought,
been,
yeah.
which we thought was really interesting. So it was like another interpretation on top of it, and it just made it very different. But we kind of liked that because then it's like there's multiple things going on with it. And just,
Things you
I don't
weren't
know,
expecting, exactly.
Yeah, I just wanted to be
something new to the table.
just less sort of pedestrian and just wanted to see what that did, and it was really interesting. I mean, the first time we heard bits, we were like, because it was so different,
Yeah,
we were
we were
like,
oh, what's
"That's
happening?
different." But then we kind of listened, and we're like, actually,
like
I think
that.
I love this, and we became obsessed with it. We're like, no, man, like go harder,
Cool.
keep going with that. So,
And I guess
he's
with
amazing.
him flipping that on its head, would you ever have been able to maybe flip the story on its head and have a nun and a boy, or, you know,
Well, that
slightly
could be
alternative
fun.
approach
I
to
mean,
it?
that would be fun. I mean, we shot it, so it was a bit late, but that would be really fun.
I'd say watch the space, who knows?
Oh, there you go.
Could be, you never know. That would
Yeah.
be
And is
really
horror
fun.
your genre now? Obviously, Woodshed was in our film
Yeah,
festival
yeah.
last year. Is horror your genre of choice, as it were, or
Well,
you
we-
exploring other
We
areas?
do have a feature that we want to make, and it is horror. It's like a body horror, sort of like an Eat the Rich kind of thing. And then, but we also have
Uber wealthy right now. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, can I say that?
No.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Because screw the the
those naughty
billionaires.
people.
Sorry. Well, I think everyone can kind of get on, the frustration.
Yeah,
about
but we
some
also
of
have
those
comedy as well in mind too. But I feel like it's another idea that we have. But I think ultimately, just horror is such a good palette to kind of tell stories with, because there's so much that you can do and so much reality that you can kind of stretch. So I think that's why we always come back to it. And also, this guy is like just knows everything about horror films as well.
Very
So
obsessive.
And you're sharing it with our audiences.
But it's just, I think it's fun to sort of talk about and play with like ideas that you feel are important to resonate with yourself, but make it fun, because you can have like a, like kitchen sink drama, like really realistic and, and that there's a place for that, and I love a lot of that cinema, but
But going
it's
over the
also
top and hamming it
escapism,
up
being-
with
yeah,
it.
and kind of making it a bit silly, a bit fun, but also there's little things that you can kind of connect to and stuff. I enjoy escapism.
And what do you want your audience then to take away from the film?
that we should make another one.
There you go.
Yes, that they want to
They should
finance
help
our
us.
next project, that they want to see many, many more films
More.
from us. Yeah, no, I think it's just fun. It's like, there's lots of, like I said, there's ideas that we're kind of having fun with, but essentially it's supposed to be like kind of a roller coaster kind of
Yeah.
cinema experience that you can just...
It's just essentially like a cathartic experience. I would call myself a reformed people pleaser with kind of interludes of still doing it. And I would say that it's for that person when they watch that just to go, yes.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably be the opposite.
You're the opposite. Yeah.
So it's a melding of...
You're like, no, whether they love it or not, this is mine and this is how it's going.
Yeah, a little bit.
Watch it or not.
Yeah.
And what's happening with it at the moment? Are you doing the festival circuits? And
Yes, we're about to go back to, well, I don't know when this is going out, but we're about to go back to Ireland. We've got 3 screenings back to back, which is really nice. Playing at Belfast Film Festival, which is really special to us because we filmed it around there. It's kind of our hometown, and it's always nice to be accepted by.
Yeah.
So that was a really special one. But yeah, we've got a bunch of festivals there, and then some other really exciting ones in the pipeline as well. So,
including Soho Live.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. No, we're so excited to be back.
Yeah,
here
it's
for
going to be
this.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. We're looking forward to seeing it in January and sharing it with our audiences.
Can't wait.
Father, look out for it in January.